of the Mind Flip.
Welcome to Theatre of the Mind Flayer, a D&D play podcast set in the homebrewed world of Jekyll. We've got 2 DMs for some reason, which can only mean twice the fun. So sit back, relax, and enjoy your time at
Theatre of the Mind Flip.
Hey, welcome to Theatre of the Mind Flayer, the podcast that will look you dead in the eye as you pee in the pool. I'm Jacob Machin. This is my backup fine little boy wife, Caleb. How you doing, Caleb?
I don't know if I like that or not. Maybe I do.
Well, I'm going to move around the table and introduce my boy toy twink male wife, Luke. How you doing, Luca?
I'm good.
Luke, I almost called you Lucas. Jesus Christ. That's Luke Sykes.
Hello.
That's Michael Briganti.
Hello.
That's Daelyn Lester-Serafini.
Heyo.
And that's Danielle Butlin.
Hello.
How are we all?
Good.
Fabulous.
Excellent. Excellent.
How are you? I pee in the pool. I don't.
Yeah, we had this kind of conversation. What is the difference between peeing in the pool and peeing into the pool? Peeing in the pool and peeing into the pool.
And why does everyone choose to pee in the pool?
When you can easily just step out and unleash
Get into it, and then you're not sitting in your own pee.
Because if you're going to step out and pee in the pool, why don't you just go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
It's too far away. You might
inside, and you're dripping wet, and your parents are going to get mad.
Because you want everyone to know.
That's the only other option.
The key is to
It's a
pee.
real power move.
The key is to pee as you walk away. So you're cold when you get out. You start peeing. You walk
See, I like to go to the top of the water slide and pee.
and then slide down.
Yeah. At least that way it gets diluted.
Yeah.
So you'd rather slide in your own urine.
No, it goes first, and then I slide.
And then you fall into it. You just fall into this little cloud of urine at the end of the slide.
And
I
then it
pee
goes
with abandon in the ocean. I pee shamefully in the pool.
you feel shame.
I do. I feel bad, but I still pee in the pool.
Of all the people around the table, I'm surprised Daelyn feels shame.
Who pees in the shower?
It's true.
Oh,
yeah.
You're lying if you don't.
who waffle stomps in the shower?
Well,
Sorry, what?
Yeah, it's when you take it. When you take a shit and you step on it
You don't
because of the grate, it turns into a waffle.
you just didn't want to ask. Why did you ask?
I had gone 27 years of my life
Not knowing what a waffle
knowing
stomp
that.
was.
I was talking to a friend of mine
Oh,
a couple
no.
of days ago, and he was telling me about a mutual friend of ours back home in Ireland.
Oh, a friend
and
of a
they
friend.
had
Okay.
they were doing like some pre-drinks in a house
Thanks for clearing that up.
before they went out for like a night out. This guy really needed to take a shit, so he went at the party, took a shit, realized there was no toilet paper, so he hopped in the shower to clean himself off, right? Okay, fine, fair enough. But apparently he forgot why he was in the shower, so he never actually washed his ass. I don't know what. He must have just gotten caught up in there, I'm showering. I don't know. And
I don't know how I got here,
so he
but-
came out and he was sitting there, and apparently everyone was like, "Man, you smell like shit. What's that shit smell?" So he just completely disregarded the whole purpose
"What
that
are
he
you
got
talking
in the
about?
shower.
Shower."
It's baffling, right?
Hang on. Why,
Try being on them.
why does why does he smell of shit after he takes a poop?
Right, I'm guessing that he just didn't wash his ass.
No, but why?
But does he press his ass together so that it
You asked
funnels through?
just from being in the shower, probably should have cleaned.
Well, no, I guess.
What? How bad is his shitting technique that he gets that much poo on his butt?
It might not be the technique. It might be the diet. You're talking about an Irishman.
My goodness, it just turns your shit black.
Does he have a really hairy ass crack that it gets caught
I
up
haven't
in?
gotten that close to it, so I can't say for sure. But I will say this, right? If there was a
Is it cheating if you inspect your mate's ass crack for the hairiness?
I will say this though, if there was a little piece of shit right here, right now, you'd probably smell it. I don't think it's a quantity thing. I'd say just a little bit of shit, you'd still be smelling.
Obviously not.
If in close, in close proximity, but yeah, maybe not. Obviously not. So yeah, that's just a little anecdote I thought I would share.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I was gonna ask where's the weirdest place you've pissed, but now I want to know
Oh no.
the weirdest place that you've taken a little dookie. No. No strange.
Oh, the weirdest.
Where's the weirdest place you've gone to the bathroom, regardless of number ones, number
I guess,
twos, or
just,
the coveted number 3, shit, fart, and cum at the same
being
time?
on safari, being we'd be on a drive and it'd be oh, I really have to go to the bathroom. I'd be okay, you got to go around the back of the car, and it's just man, I really hope I don't get eaten right now. This would be that would be
running away with pants around your knees, waddling away is
It'd be a real shit way to go. Okay, thank you. I did not need that ego boost.
Can we get a round of applause in that section, please, Caleb? Like an actual yeah.
concert chamber.
Yes,
Think
please.
He is,
Yeah.
Go, Danny.
Oh,
Clearly.
Okay, so this I don't know. This was the weirdest peeing experience, which is that I was on a film shoot and we were out in the woods. And so we didn't have facilities. So I had to go and like pee in the woods somewhere. And it was in Victoria. And anyway, I'm doing my thing and I look down and there are fucking leeches everywhere on the ground, and they are doing this terrifying fucking like heat source that is the human. Oh my god! So yeah, that was just and then I was paranoid for the rest of the day that some had like attached themselves, and there was no way that I could check or ask anyone to check.
Wow,
solid.
Yep.
Mine was I was like on a party bus. I managed to put it in like a bottle, like an empty bottle, but it was just a very weird because I'm not gonna pee like it's a party bus. It was a school
Did you
bus.
pee into the bottle?
Yes.
That thing where you got to try and poke the eye like in.
You mean the moon?
Yeah, you've got to try and poke. Yeah, yes, the Jacalian moon. You've got to try and poke it into the eye of the bottle.
However, you have to pee in a bottle.
And then did you have to cut it off right at the end?
I don't.
You don't want to get into. I'll get into details. Well, you know, like
Not the penis.
okay. So here's the thing. I've done the same in a car park before an audition while I was pissing with rain outside. I should have just pissed out of the car, but I did. I had to poke the eye into the bottle, fill the bottle, but because I needed to pee so much, I had to do that horrible thing where you've got to cut off midstream, crack the car door, pour it out. I had to use the same bottle. I had to pour it out into the rain and then jam it back in there.
I had enough for just the one bottle, so I didn't have to do the whole switcheroo.
Oh, you
But
were
I was
dehydrated.
for the rest of the for the rest of like the bus ride.
You had a bottle
down
of
to the city. I had a bottle.
piss.
Oh my god, that you probably just had to desperately protect from any drunk people trying to take
including
it and
myself.
drink it.
I gotta remember that. Which one is which? Yeah.
See, if you had been on a rugby team or something, it would have been like a thing to make somebody drink that.
Oh, probably, but
Yeah.
Yeah, football and rugby teams is shit.
Yeah. Hockey teams probably too.
Yeah, any male-driven sports team kind of has that kind of feel to it to me. I know I experienced it back in Australia.
You ever drink a beer through a dirty sock?
No, but I did
No.
drink a beer out of a amputee leg.
Ooh.
Yeah. That was
No.
fun.
With permission, I'm assuming.
What was he going to do about it, Jason?
I really had to pee and peed in an amputee leg.
Wow. Luke, afterwards, were you just absolutely legless?
Hey, I don't know. I had 3.
Can you add a little clap in there as well?
Yeah,
Just wanna-
Thank you. Thank you. Was it a hoppy beer?
It was well balanced.
I'd come up with more, but I'm stumped. So we're going to play an improv game. Wait, Luke, you didn't tell us where you peed. Strangest place you
You
peed.
thought you got away.
There's one I'm not proud of, but I'm not going to tell that story.
No, come
Well,
on.
you
now
can't
said
say
the
that.
podcast.
Change whatever details you need to, but we need to know that one.
Fine.
Do it for the fans.
There was so I was part of a rugby team, as you're well aware, and we went to this rugby tournament, and we had a couple rules, and one of them was you couldn't pee in a toilet.
This is what I mean. Like, I've had that.
So ordering a drink at a bar while peeing at the same time is a weird experience.
You did tell me about that. You did tell me
Pissed
that.
yourself while you were ordering a drink?
I didn't
Pissing
piss myself no.
on the bar.
I pissed like, you know how there's a lip and you're standing under it, and so you're ordering a drink.
There were lips under the bar while you pissed?
That's outrageous.
Yeah. Even the Irishman's going, wow.
Well, I'm just thinking,
The bar's a sacred
I was
place.
just thinking, like, how many people were there, like, around? Like
Oh, there's quite a lot.
did anyone see
Like
you
shoulder to
pissing
shoulder
on-
sort of
pissing on the
thing.
I didn't
bar?
get kicked out, so I hope not.
Yeah, I'm assuming that nobody
Could you
saw.
hear the stream? Did you have to
No,
talk
'cause it's
louder?
Way too
It's at
loud.
clubs. There's loud music. There was one bar in Southampton where it was called Jesters. It was in a basement, and you could smell the vomit and urine from lining up
Yeah.
outside.
Ooh.
But shots were 50 cents. And
Everyone has a
hear us all
piss to money
considering
ratio. Yeah.
and the floor was sawdust, so they could.
Oh,
real bad.
wow.
Oh my god.
That's bad.
But when you're a university student, hey, cheap booze is cheap booze.
Yeah, and you can
outrageous.
piss wherever you want.
Yeah. Wait. Where's the weirdest place you two peed and pooped?
Yeah.
Oh,
Caleb is
well,
already-
one of my peeing in the car at an audition was one of them. Shitting. I don't know if I've shit anywhere weird. Caleb?
Uh-oh.
I'm having this internal dilemma about whether to tell this story.
I mean,
'Cause it's-
Luke shared some pretty.
I was so sure I wasn't going to tell it, but then Luke opened up. Mine's worse.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
But the fact that you opened up, Luke, there's very, very few people on this planet who know this story.
If this story starts with, we were at a funeral.
The tagline is, I shit myself on a bus.
Oh, we're Tarantinoing this. We're going back to.
Yeah, I'm setting the scene. So I used to work in the National Concert Hall in Dublin. So I was working a lot of like late nights because a lot of the time we'd finish up at around like 11 o'clock at night, which would be fine. But I was living in my hometown of Gorey at the time, which is about an hour and a half bus drive from the concert hall. So I finished work one night. It was...
Can I ask your age real quick? Okay, never mind.
I was
Take from that what you will.
It was a year before I moved out here. So that would have been, I've been here 3 years. So 4 years ago, that would have been
22.
He's giving timelines.
2023.
Yeah, this has been weighing on me.
Go on, share it. Share it.
So I finished work probably a little bit before 11. The bus wasn't due till 11:30. I was starving from work, so I ordered myself a massive like fuck off burrito, and it was very, very nice, very enjoyable. I finish it. I wait for the bus, and just before the bus arrives, something in my stomach just like flips. Like I can't explain how quickly it turned. I don't know what happened. I've never experienced anything like this in my entire life. Anyway, I get on the bus. This was my fucking massive mistake. I should have just not gotten on this bus. And I sit down, and very, 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 very quickly I feel something pushing through. Now, the thing you got to understand about Ireland is it's a small place.
Yeah, and they're known for their Mexican cuisine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was my second mistake. But there's not a lot of like stops on the way from Dublin to my hometown of Gorey. Virtually none.
And there's no bathroom in
There's
the
no bathroom
bus?
on the bus. So I'm stuck here very, very close to shitting myself with nowhere to go. Also, I can't get off the bus because I will be stranded in the middle of nowhere with no way home. So I'm very much stuck.
Did you like break your phone or something? Is that why you couldn't contact anyone?
My phone was not broken at the time, but like this was already pushing like 12 o'clock at night at this stage in the middle of nowhere. So I'm like, fuck. Anyway, I start like sweating profusely. I'm like,
No, I hate those sweats.
this is my mistake. Number 2, I should have
sweats.
just gotten off the bus and figured it out. I should have just figured it out.
Or at least ask.
But
Like,
I was,
hey.
yeah, but I was like, I was like, I can do this. I can hold this in for another hour. And lads, let me just tell you, I couldn't do it. And it came out. I shit myself on that bus.
How many people were on this bus?
Luckily, not too many, but people were close by. And let me tell you, that shit stank. Mortified.
And everyone knew, right?
Everybody on that bus,
Someone
without a shadow of a doubt, knew that somebody had shit themselves.
And you just got to play the...
It was dark. There was no one
it.
sitting beside me, thankfully. So if there had been someone sitting directly across from me, oh my God, I don't know.
So how was the waddle off the bus and the home and the
it gets worse.
burritos?
This is my
Messy going in, messy coming
my
out.
biggest shame. So I'm sitting there and I feel so much better, right? Like I'm like, part of me is delighted that this has happened because I was in so much pain.
I really hope he tries to take off his underwear.
After about 20 minutes, starts to come again. I can feel my stomach like go at me. At this stage, I'm in it. So I shit myself for a second time.
Oh my...
on this bus. And let me tell you, if you think you'll never shit yourself twice on a bus, let me tell you I also thought I would never shit myself twice on a bus.
Okay. The second time, did you like fight it, or did you just like, nah, it's coming out?
There's no point to fighting
At that point, you're already committed. So I just sat in it for an hour.
Oh my God.
The whole way home. It stank. I texted my dad. I couldn't ring him because I didn't want anyone to know it. I was the one who'd shit myself.
Oh my God.
So I was like, Dad, I hope you're up. I fucking shit myself on the bus. I need you to come because it's like a 20-minute walk from the bus to my house.
You can't walk that.
So I'm like, I need you to fucking pick me up. Please don't tell anybody.
Oh my god.
He was like, okay.
Did he bring a blanket for you to sit on?
So the bus pulls up. At this stage, like I don't even want to tell you like the consistency of what was going on. It was horrible.
But you were walking from the knees down to get out of there.
I was covered in shit on the inside, and I like ran off that bus. Like I don't know to this day who was on that bus. There was definitely at least probably like 8 people. I didn't make eye contact with anyone. I didn't even say thank you to the bus driver. I fucking ran. And my dad was in the car. I opened it up. He had laid like bin bags out all over the seat.
That's so sweet.
Yeah,
Such a dad.
sat in the car with him.
He's obviously been there before.
And within like 10 seconds, he was like nearly throwing up. Oh, God, love him, the poor
He didn't
man.
bring you any like pants or anything.
So where was he going to change?
You could have put on a bin bag.
It was like we were. The drive is like 2 minutes home, right? Like I wasn't going to change in the middle of the street. I think he did the right thing, just cover it down.
Oh my god.
So got home,
Amazing.
and he was like, "Oh, you could clean those jeans," and I was like,
No.
No, it's a matter of shame now.
Threw the jeans out, cleaned myself off, and that is the single most embarrassing moment of my entire life.
That's a big one.
And very few people know this story, but now I've spoken about it on a podcast that
Slightly
has
fewer people
30
know this.
listeners. So
Yeah.
Did it feel good to get it out?
if it feels it is a good story, but it might be
It's a great story.
And there you go.
At what date did you tell Naya?
I told Naya this story only recent enough. I'd say in the last like few months. This story.
Okay.
Once you had already moved in together and it was too late.
It was too late. So there you go.
Well, you win. Congrats.
That was.
It feels freeing.
I felt cathartic in there.
Please don't look at me any different, guys.
No, Caleb, if
Well-
anything, I have more respect.
It's only
for
going to be
you.
through admiration.
Honestly, I
Yeah.
thought it was a medical condition, not a
No,
condition,
it was a
but like
really bad
symptom that we
really
need to
bad
add to the list.
Burrito. Really bad burrito. It's never happened since.
Well, to ensure that we only have enough content for Caleb not to cut that, we're just going to go straight into some D&D.
Yeah, let's do it. That was.
Leader of the Mind Flare.
In our last session, you became acquainted with your new companion, Azareth, a half-elf from Safirith who had taken up residence in Bocht in recent years. Also looking for the missing children, you decided to team up. And after realizing that Etterath was not to be found, you made your way to the Balls Academy and spoke to headmistress Agenar. She informed you that all bailmen were being recalled back to the city, while they decided how to deal with the crisis. You managed to convince her to let you take Baki on your mission, under the condition that he not be seen leaving Baal. Azareth turned him invisible and you snuck him out of the city and back into the mists once more. Which brings us to now as you begin following Bakanov on the roads, navigating the thick and suffocating mists. You see Baki, he is illuminating this bright purple color from his tattoos that are leading him through.
If anyone needs to use the bathroom, they probably should now. Before we go. You don't want to get caught on the road needing to go.
Well, if you do, you can always just ask and we'll, I guess, politely just pull over to the side of the road because anyone who needs to go to the bathroom in the middle of a long journey deserves us all to stop.
What if I have to go twice?
We're
Then
your
you're fucked.
friends.
And you know you're eating well.
Bucky,
Yeah,
how long is
yeah.
this journey?
It should, if we're taking the right path, and it seems that we are. It should take us a couple of nights, 3 days at most, I guess.
Well, we'd better.
So, like it or not, we're probably going to be shitting near each other at some point. And be sure to role play it so that the audience gets.
That's something that's missing.
You need to
Right.
roll a survival check to see if you find a good spot.
Don't you look me in the eyes.
I'm looking at everyone in the eyes.
Are you accidentally contaminating the water source for your body?
Do I see leeches? Yeah, Bucky looks at you and he informs you that, it'll take around 2 nights, 3 days as you travel along the misty roads. The mists down here seem thicker than normal.
Any purple?
No, it's that same kind of silvered mist color that you've seen while traversing the roads and on the elk beast that you fought in Lahias.
Great.
But you don't see any purple. Around Baki, the mist would have like a kind of purple, opaque kind of coloring around it because the purple light from his tattoos are hitting the mist. But the mist itself, you don't see any purple.
Right. And so the mist is thicker now?
Yeah, seems to be a bit thicker. I would like to know in what order you guys are heading down the road. Obviously, Bucky in the lead, if you permit him. In what other order? What is our marching order as we head on this 3-day trek?
I'll probably up near Bucky.
Okay.
I'll pull up rear.
Yeah, in the middle.
Probably be behind, more in the back, but like not at the back.
Yeah. Give me my fucking space.
I got Bucky, Bias, Agenar in the middle, Azareth, and Safirith bringing up the rear. You guys march on. As you head on through this silvered mist, at this point, I'd like to make some checks. I'd like you to think about how your character, how each of your characters would most assist in this sort of venture. We'll determine what checks, but what would your character be doing in a long 8 to 10 hour hike journey as you set off? Bucky's doing some navigating. He will make a survival check, but I'd like to see what you guys, knowing that it takes more than one to pull your weight when moving with a party, what each of your characters are doing in this initial kind of kickoff as you leave Bale behind you.
Agnar's going to be keeping just a gentle eye on everybody to watch their energy levels and whether they need to stop and take a rest, or who's looking a bit too bored, who might need some cheer.
Okay, yeah, you can make an insight or a medicine check for me as you monitor people's health levels throughout this day. We're going to make this check at the start of each day, and then again when we stop to camp, we'll make a bunch of checks to see how well you guys set up camp.
That is a 17.
17. Okay, nice. What check was that, medicine or insight?
I'm going to go with insight because I want to be looking at their mood as well.
Okay. Excellent.
Bias will just be he's more of, I'd say, the pack horse. So if there's anything he's carrying, he'll carry it. But he'll also be more looking for protection. So he'll be doing what the balls had people protecting them.
Gotcha. Yeah. He's working as the kind of the guard of the group.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Just on alert for any kind of signs of danger.
I'll get
any changes in the environment.
Yeah, I'll get a perception check from you, please, Bias.
12. And I'll just be chatting to Bucky.
Excellent. Chatting to Bucky. We'll come to that in a second. Azareth, Safirith.
Azareth would probably every so often, every few minutes or so, he'd probably just throw at some prestidigitation and create a little gusts of wind to kind of keep the fog a little bit away from the immediate area, just kind of keep everyone in visual range so that, we stick around together.
Okay. Bias, can you roll that check with advantage, please?
Nat 20, baby.
Beautiful.
25.
Excellent. Just fixed a failed check there. Nice. And Safirith.
I figure I'm just literally kind of playing rear guard, just in terms of like keeping an eye on the mist, like looking out for those mist creatures that we saw before, and just kind of like at the ready, making sure that nothing's trying to follow us.
Okay, yeah, I'll get a perception check from you as well, please, just a straight.
Nat 1.
No, I was like,
okay,
straight on.
So what we've got here is we've got a nat 1 and a nat 20 cancelling each other out. We've then got Agnar's 17 insight check to keep an eye on the people, and Bucky's 26 survival check to make sure you know where you're going, which means you are heading in the right direction down the road.
As you guys make your way down, you feel that familiar rumble and grind of the road beneath your feet. Sometimes it can feel a little disorientating. You can feel like you're nearly actually turning 180 degrees. It feels like sometimes you're actually walking back the way you came. Sometimes you start to feel a little bit dizzy as Bucky takes these left and right turns, so quickly adjusting as the roads move. But thankfully, Bucky seems very confident in what he's doing. He doesn't pause at all. He knows exactly where he's going. As we said, the mist, bit thicker, more of like a suffocating kind of presence on it now. It kind of sticks to your skin nearly.
It's like that stench you get when you're in a bus that someone shit in, and you can kind of feel it on you. It smells like old socks.
But thankfully, as Azareth like gives these kind of gusts of wind, you do get like a slight little kind of respite from the mist, kind of blows it away, not completely, but does take that kind of suffocating feeling away, just in very short bursts.
Bucky turns to you, Bias, and says, I can hold your hand if you want me to.
It's up to you, big man. You're all graduated now. Do you need me?
Well, you're never too old or too graduated to hold hands.
All right. I just hold my hand above my head.
He goes, oh, yeah, right. And he places his hand on your bald head and kind of...
Right.
I was like, don't worry, I won't... Yeah, that's probably better.
Yeah, leaves both my hands straight. How you feeling?
I'm good. I feel like this is what I'm meant to be doing. I feel bad leaving everyone else behind in such a state, but I feel like this is right. What we're doing is right. We're saving the kids, and hopefully more kids means more learning. We can get more bailmen from that. I'm not sure. I haven't really thought into the fact that we've effectively stopped any other bailmen or any other purple rain from being made.
I had a question about that.
Yeah.
How long you been training?
Oh, I would have been in balls like 4 years before you guys kind of came along.
All right. What do you learn for 4 years?
You learn everything. You learn about the history of Bakht. You learn about the layout of Bakht. You learn about the politics of the rest of the continents and why perhaps they tried to invade us back in the day. You learn, some combat things. I learned how to shoot an arrow, bow and an arrow. I also learned how to cast a few spells, that sort of thing.
Okay, great. But so the bailman's job is to lead people down the path.
Bailmen lead the way.
So why did you need to know all the other stuff?
To make conversation with people that we're leading around, to be able to defend ourselves, you have as many tools as you can just in case you need to fix something.
A business degree takes 3 years. But
what's a business degree?
Okay, you said something earlier that kind of triggered something. Well, was it you or the headmistress? Can't remember. I should probably listen to the podcast.
You were triggered?
Yeah, I was triggered very easily.
Oh, I'm sorry if I did anything to trigger you.
No, not you. Just triggered an interest.
Oh,
I think it was headmistress talking about teaching the maps and the roads to the non-initiated.
Yeah, and having traveled them kind of as we're moving, I'm keeping track of how they twist and turn in order to maybe find some sort of, not logical, but some sort of way to, I don't know, like extrapolate why and how they move. We never bothered because we had bailmen, but maybe we take the time to figure out how to navigate them manually.
What did you do in between the time of there being bailmen and the fog starting?
You mean since in between the bloodbath?
Yeah, when the fog first arose, you didn't have bailmen at hand, ready to go, no?
No, that's why we have these isolated pockets. That's why most of the Lahians are Githyanki, because that's where they were. They couldn't really move from there. People found it hard to move through Bakht, so they stayed where they were. There was a lot of isolation. That's why you find certain races in certain areas. And it's just kind of been that way until the bailmen kind of began.
And how did they begin?
Mistress Yarwin is extremely old and extremely talented. She saw a pocket of knowledge that could be used together with the shaman. Vasili's family, they started years ago this magical purple stuff that would help us navigate. Initially, we had them in little devices that would point the way, but we found that when the roads ran amok, the needle would spin and we couldn't do anything. And then Mistress Yarwin kind of teamed up and figured that if we were to infuse people with this arcana, we could possibly...
So she must have a way to get through the mist without, because she wasn't in that village, I assume.
Well, I mean, you've not seen Mistress Yarwin in anything but full-sleeve shirts and long skirts. I imagine she's just as tattooed as we are.
Yeah, but she wasn't to begin with, so unless she was in that village to start, then she must have been able to get there somehow.
Must have been able to get to Bale.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where she started from. I've never asked that before.
Huh, good to know.
You think Mistress Yarwin's bad?
No. I actually think she's quite good.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. I think there's some things that she's keeping to herself.
Oh, we've all got things we keep to ourselves. I'm sure you've got things you keep to yourself. While we're walking, maybe we share one thing that we've been keeping to ourselves with each other.
All right, let's start with you, new boy.
One thing I'm keeping about myself.
Yeah, give us something juicy.
God.
Where's the strangest place you've pissed or shitted?
Well, believe it or not, I try to keep it sanitary.
No, fair.
Not too many places, just some alleys and something of that sort. But guess I'll give you this bias. And everyone, I fled Severe because, it's a right shithole.
You fled Severe because it was a shithole?
Yes, it's
What made it a shithole?
well, just the politics and the
Oh.
sort of lifestyles of certain peoples and,
Well, I thought they had big, beautiful buildings and
do.
lots of people.
It's a very beautiful country.
But there's a lot of rich
Yes.
and there's a lot of poor.
There's a lot of power that goes through there.
Oh, power's bad?
It can be.
It is when you're willing to kill anyone to get it.
Oh.
Yes. It's about as juicy as I'll squeeze the lemon. Is that a term? Is that a saying?
Sure. I like it.
That's as juicy as you'll squeeze the lemon.
I'm going to squeeze a little bit harder. Just a little bit. Just don't. You seem like you're full of power. Were you one of the upper or lower?
I was fortunate. I was sort of born into a well-off family, I guess you could say.
You're a fortunate son.
I was a fortunate son. Well, fortune is in the eye of the beholder, I guess. Sort of everyone sees their own personal situation differently.
Yes.
Fortune can mean
Some people
different.
Some people don't find wealth and money to be fortunate.
What about you, Safirith?
No, the asker gets to go next.
Okay.
Go on. You can.
Oh, shit, that's me. Oh,
Do you want me to ask you?
Sure, yeah. Ask me a question. Go on.
Oh, I thought
What
we
do you
were
wanna know?
voluntarily
Yeah.
going up.
What do you want to know?
Treat him like a lemon. Squeeze the juice.
Juice out there, bias.
Buddy.
So, what was that?
Squeeze the juice. Something.
Squeeze the juice.
It's my catchphrase.
That's the title. Safirith, you seem like you got a bit of a stick up your butt about me. What you want to know?
I have no stick up my ass, but thank you for
Why are you
asking.
shaking your dice at me?
I'm just saying.
Wait. How do you...
What you order?
I took that stick out last week. No, what I want to know is they said something about coming for your soul. What was that? Those guys in cloaks, you said they wanted your soul.
Yeah.
What did that mean?
Well,
What does that mean?
What do gods want? What gives gods power?
You tell me, God expert.
Isn't it prayer and worship?
Which comes from
People?
true belief, which comes from your soul. That's as much as I know.
So do they want your physical soul, or do they just want you to be a believer?
Oh, I was. I guess they want the physical one now.
What's a reaper?
You get one question. Should have started with that one.
It's okay. I'm sure there'll be another chance to ask you more questions.
So I get to ask one now because I was the asker.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Who did Queen Banrian kill?
She's killed a lot of people.
Damn fucking loopholes. I'll let that answer slide if you
Wait,
want
I
it to.
thought the original game was for sharing a secret.
You didn't know we can ask specific questions.
All right,
I
fine.
think it-
Safirith, you can tell whatever you want.
I think it was supposed to be, but
Nah, that's fair. You can tell whatever you want.
she didn't kill anyone I know personally. But she's a cause of a lot of things. And that need for power drove a lot of people close to me to do very bad things.
Oh, you are one tasty cake, aren't you?
Jesus.
Wait, someone brought cake?
Someone has cake.
Get a dried biscuit. I just handed up.
Oh,
Crackers.
thank you.
Don't worry, Bias. One day I'll tell you my whole story, but not yet.
I am quivering on the inside of this. He just hits his shell.
You're so weird. Agenar, what's something you want to share? Because you're right, that was the original.
Well, I'm not sure because I tend to be a bit of an open book. It's a bit hard to find a secret.
Is there anyone you've ever hated?
Oh, I like it.
Because I can't imagine you hating someone, but
Well, I don't like to admit this, but there was, I don't know actually, someone I didn't get along with.
you kill him?
Back at the temple. No,
I don't think that was the question.
no.
I'm just squeezing the lemon.
That was squeezing.
Give me that juice.
Sorry, keep going.
Anyway, Reshla. They were not very nice.
Veshla.
Yes. And they sort of why I'm afraid of snakes. And anyway, when we went into the Howling Ring for the choosing, they got worse. And they didn't return. They stayed because they chose their more violent nature.
Did you hate them because they chose that violent nature, or because
Oh no, I mean, I hated the way they treated me and the others like Nesh, and I suppose I hated that there was nothing we could do. No amount of kindness or understanding would do anything. Could have.
Who's Nesh?
Nesh, Surely I've talked about Nesh before. I should call her, actually. Oh,
Wait, what?
I can do that later. Nesh is my Nesh, my...
So we all have one of those, don't we? Pius? Nesh?
No. Do you have Nesh?
You've never had a Nesh before?
No, what's a Nesh?
I assume a Nesh is like a bestie or a friend that you do everything with, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. You ever had a bestie?
Nesh.
Besides me, of course. That's my question.
With his hand on my head.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm really sad that this is an audio only format because I just want to capture the faces.
Yeah, I had a Nesh.
Who's your Nesh?
Well, this one was you.
I'm your Nesh.
You got one Nesh, yeah.
What other Neshes you had?
I got one Nesh back from Fionn. Yeah, I had a Nesh. I feel like a Nesh is a name.
Oh, Nesh is her name.
Oh, I thought it was a native phrase or something. Okay.
No. Her name is Neshaway, but I call her Nesh.
Neshaway, that's a nice name.
Oh, yes. But yes. Nesh stayed back in the temple in the Howling Ring. She stayed there and I didn't, so.
What is that? The Howling Ring.
Oh, yeah. You weren't there when we talked. We were drinking. And
we talked about the choosing, but I've just never heard of that.
Oh,
specific.
that's the place where. We often just call it the choosing, but the place is the Howling Ring because
I know about
lots of
that.
people howl.
Yeah. It's like a ring of land around the main kind of area of Fionn, the big city.
Oh, shit, they did teach us stuff at that school.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called. Lorna Cath?
Lorna Cath.
Fuck yeah, I know my own lore. Well, bye.
Pop
So
quiz.
you,
Who runs Lorna Cath?
I know he's a Leonin. I believe he's a Leonin.
Lorna Cath is actually ran by a council, all made up of different races, but their main...
Right, there's the Leonin, there's the Kenku, there's the... there is an Aarakocra. Yeah, there's...
A Dragonborn, isn't there?
Don't
No.
No. You're trying to trip us
You
up.
shut your filthy mouth. Loxodon. There was a big old Loxodon. That's right. Yeah. Oh, some of these things
No, I'm
just
just
go
trying to get
in and out.
information from other things.
So, Bias, has your curiosity been piqued
About
your one thing you wanted to know of everyone?
I didn't want to know. It was a big boy here, and I smack him on the thigh.
Oh, it was just fun. I just thought it'd be fun to pass the time.
And it was
Chat.
fun.
It was fun. I had fun. You guys are fun.
Wait, what was your secret?
Oh, yeah, good question.
Oh, you want to ask a question or you want me to tell a secret?
No.
You don't.
I don't. If someone else wants
Tell
to,
a
and you're
secret.
happy to.
I once caught a land bus for...
No, I knew it as well. Woman. Never sharing anything again.
Caleb won't tell us any more of his shit stories.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them.
What do you want to know?
Do you plan on going back to see what's her face?
Grania.
I mean, let's just focus on the task at hand. We should focus on the task at hand and not worry about things. I think that's probably best if we don't lose focus on what we're doing. Yeah.
All right, big man. Keep leading.
Okay.
As he turns your head, Bias, back towards the road, you do spot two figures in the distance. They seem to be sitting cross-legged next to like a flickering campfire. As you get a little bit closer, you notice that one is a dragonborn man, and he's sitting there like rubbing his scales, and he's kind of laughing merrily at whatever his companion is saying. You can't make it out. You're not that close. But you do notice that his companion is like a stout furbog woman, but you can't figure out what she's saying. But you do see that they're both wearing clothes kind of stitched together, like covered in like multi-patterned patches, as if they kind of had been ripped and repaired multiple times. They've obviously are people who travel a lot. And you notice that beside their campfire, like two massive rucksacks. And as you get that little bit closer, you do on your nose notice the kind of nice aroma of like cooking meats kind of inviting you forward.
Hey up, guys. There's someone in front of us.
Oh,
Got a campfire.
are they
People.
friendly looking or?
They seem to be. Like, they're not stabbing each other. So they're friendly with each other, at least.
But who would be
That's a
out
good
traveling if if all of the bailmen are being
Also,
called
how
back?
can they be? Yeah.
How are they
Exactly.
traveling?
Bucky,
Yeah.
is the mist ever known to sort of present illusions?
Not that I know of. Just the mist creatures.
Nothing like physical or other beings.
Not that I know of. Maybe I've never encountered it here, and it's not really something that we're equipped for. If they are, then they're very good looking ones. Like they seem. We could go. Should we go poke them?
Maybe we should just talk to them first, because I don't remember the mist creatures talking.
No, that's true. But there are other things out there, not just mist creatures.
Oh, yes.
Case in point this morning.
Well,
Yes.
What happened this morning?
Oh, we got in a bit of a ruckus with some people in red cloaks.
You got in a ruckus with red cloaks?
Hey,
Oh, before you
got
came
in
to
a
see me.
ruckus and we got dragged
did you not
into
think it weird that they asked why someone wanted my soul? That came from this morning.
You're a very nice person. I imagine a lot of people want your soul.
Very kind.
Yeah.
Shall we just go say hi? 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't think we can disappear into the mist without getting lost, right?
We can certainly try. I mean, I could lead us off the path and we can approach a different way. We can step off the path. We have to be very, very careful.
Can we see from here if there's any glowing from one of them?
Glowing from the actual figures.
Purple glowing from the
Roll a perception check.
16.
You take a closer look to see if you see kind of any purple or any kind of magical light. You can't see any of that. You do see the flickering light of the campfire kind of illuminating their faces. They seem jaunty, they seem merry, they seem like they're having a good time conversing back and forth, but you don't see any purple, you don't see any bailmen. It's just the two of them. You don't see any purple lights.
I'd say it's...
Can I see their lips?
Oh, roll a perception check for me.
Yeah, your feet is coming in use, baby.
Fuck. That's a 10.
You can see their lips. You can see their lips.
Yes.
They're talking.
What are they talking
they're
about?
talking pretty casually.
What
but
exactly are they saying, Caleb?
They are saying, and they're saying, oh,
And this is the voice you hear in your head as the lips read out.
Okay,
It's
okay.
always this voice
Okay,
in your
well-
head.
oh, it's
Yeah, they have voices. I've got voices for them, but I mean, the voice she hears in her head when she lips read
when I lip read
is this.
Yeah, okay.
Hello, Agenar. Thank you for finally using me as a trait.
Is this an app? Does she have an app?
Exactly what
To translate
what you're
like app
saying.
in my
your
head.
lips. The Dragonborn is saying, "Oh yes, indeed. The trade was good today. I managed to find this particular bauble," and you see him whip out a red spherical object from his pocket, and it, I think, will catch me quite a penny. And then you see the Furbog woman take it from him
like a
and start
GPS.
examining it, and she's saying, "Oh yes, I think this will give you quite at least 2 weeks worth of silver. I think jolly good." Yeah, that's how the trait speaks to you.
Excellent.
I've got so much character development from that.
Just to be clear, they weren't their accents. That was your
Yeah. But they did say, "Oh yes, indeed," and the other did say, "Oh yes."
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah. Well, from what I can see from here, I think they're just talking about trading. So maybe they're just merchants. They're not.
Great. Maybe they got magical items. Should we go trade?
Oh,
Yeah, I'd just say let's
That's
be
an idea.
cautious.
Not that we
Be
found any gold recently, but, you know.
ready.
they didn't. See, from what they were saying, they didn't seem the rough and tumble type.
Great, so I won't need this. And he just holds out his hammer.
Well, I hope not. No,
So I'll keep it out then, shall I?
maybe best.
Okay.
So shall we take a direct approach or?
Sure, why not? Oh, stranger.
Oh, yeah, he's the charming one.
Right.
At your calling out, you notice the two figures look up at you.
Straight to the point.
Come on, Bucky, let's go.
Okay.
Coming in, is that all right?
The male dragonborn just kind of nods and waves you over.
Great. Come on, let's go.
As you approach,
Okay.
you notice they don't seem particularly surprised or confused by your appearance here on the roads. They seem kind of friendly and welcoming.
On the contrary, we look fucking surprised. Go for Agenar.
Oh,
Oh, yes, hello there. Oh, yes,
Hello.
indeed. Nice to see you. How you doing there? Got myself one of these baubles here. What can I do for you? Oh, yes, indeed.
Is this some like talking?
No, this is just the one guy.
Okay.
That's
I'll get to that one in a second.
that's the Dragonborn you hear.
Yeah, oh, yes, indeed. Yes, sir.
well, hello.
Hello there.
Hello. We are just.
Pleased to meet you.
Oh, it's nice to meet you too.
Adventurers heading down. Is that what's happening here?
I suppose you could say that. Adventure. I'd never thought about it like that.
Yeah, travelers.
Travelers, adventurers, merchants,
Nobleman.
noblemen. From where do you hail,
I'd
noblemen?
say nobleman. I'm not a nobleman.
You're not a nobleman?
I said bias. I said I.
Bias.
A wealthier
You must be
fact.
biased.
I am, and you are.
I am Pollance.
Pollance. And
Pollance.
Pollance.
Don't worry, I won't hold
And your
it too much
friend.
against
My friend here, well, this is Valir.
Pollance and Valia. Nah, question for you. We are travelers, but as you can see, we got a leader leading us the way.
Oh,
Still hand on my head.
you're a mighty large man with a mighty big glow to you. Oh,
Hey, so
thank
where's your
you.
large man with a glow to them?
I beg your pardon.
How do you get your way through these fogs?
Through the what?
Through the
I
mist.
look around. Is there mists anywhere?
Yeah, you look around and that same thick silvered mist is everywhere.
You haven't noticed the mist around at all in your travels?
I've noticed when it gets cold at night, sometimes there's a little bit of mist that lingers down, but I'm not quite sure. Valir! And the Furbolg turns to you and says, "Oh yeah, hello there, hi there. What can I do for you? Oh yes, indeedy. Oh yes, oh yes.
We were just
Watch
wondering.
me try to remember these two voices.
We were just
oh yeah,
wondering how you were traveling about with this mist around
Yes,
and
how-
the dangers of traveling around Bok.
Oh,
the
well, the
roads.
dangers of traveling around Bakht is running into the Safirians and the Bakhtians that are skirmishing. It's been very good for business, though, selling trinkets and bits and pieces.
Whoa.
You haven't heard?
Skirmishing.
This is the Savirian invasion. You've not heard about the Savirian invasion, no?
There was one, but quite a while ago.
This is one happening right now.
Again.
You're not aware of Savirians invading Bakht. Skirmishes happening on the border, happening in the border towns, making their way in towards Bale.
Was
No,
impenetrable. What?
but they don't know how to navigate the mists or the roads. So how could they?
Well, you step one foot after the other and follow the road. That's how it works. I don't know if you ever saw that what are we going to call it? We saw that puppet show where the little girl, the house lands on the witch and she walks down that yellow brick road.
Oh, yeah. The with the red brick road.
With the red brick road, that's
Hey,
correct.
hey.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hold on. Where are they?
Traverse the red brick road. You know the song.
topaz court.
Traverse
Yeah,
the
yeah.
red brick road. Yeah.
So you don't see
Correct.
this.
I-
I just gestured the mist around
I
us.
see you waving your hand around all fancy like. Yeah.
Is he wearing glasses?
No.
Is he wearing a necklace?
He's wearing just like a thin gold chain, like the same thing you'd see just anyone kind of wearing, just like a very thin gold chain. I don't know.
I'm going to just look back at Safirith and be like, can you detect magic? You, new boy, can you no?
I can get a sense of whether something's magical, but not.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself.
Oh, no, there. Not at all. Not at all.
My name's Agenar. And
Hello there.
Agnar's going to hold out her hand.
I'm Valir.
For a handshake.
You kind of hold out your hand, and she goes to hold out her hand, and the Dragonborn says, No, we don't want to be dealing with any thieves and pickpockets. State your business. It's not very often people come by and ask about strange mists and don't quite know about the skirmish. I'm curious as to what you guys are doing here.
Oh, I wasn't trying to pick any pockets. I was just making a gesture of greeting. I apologize if that's not one you're used to.
Where are you two from?
Good question.
Well, I myself have been in Bakht for many a year. I've been here a long time. Originally, I hailed from the far southern lands of the Casbolian Ocean. I moved up here a long time ago. And my friend here, Valir. Oh, yeah. I was born and bred in Bakht. I've been here with my family the whole time, yeah.
So, wait, neither of you are from Fianna?
No, I've not been to Fianna. I do have friends from Fianna.
Oh.
So what you do? You selling wares? What you selling?
Well, I got myself these Are you in the trade for baubles?
It depends.
Well, these are baubles that can be shattered upon impact. I found that a lot of Bactrian soldiers often use them in order to throw at the Safirians to kind of shatter in their faces and scare them. I've also got a number of baubles that you can screw the top off and turn them into a little drink. Let's just say I had a what is called a Christmas tree business that went downhill recently, and I had a lot of decorations left over, and I decided to put them to good use. I have a garrote wire made from Christmas lights, will-o-wisp lights. We have strung together a lot of little will-o-wisps and kind of tied them in a knot there. They don't like it, but they're will-o-wisps. What are they going to do about it? Would you like to sit down? Would you like some food? You look like you're hardy travelers that could use a hearty meal.
Something's wrong.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, let's sit. Let's sit.
We can sit, have a rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have been traveling a good few hours at this stage, so you would feel your stomach starting to rumble. Like, it's definitely not like near the end of the day, but you guys have from pretty much morning now till probably kind of maybe 3-4 p.m. been traveling, so you definitely are hungry.
Right. Yeah, let's sit. Bucky, you okay if we have lunch?
Yeah, sure. Early dinner, late lunch, something like that. I mean, we left Bacht, pretty late morning, but
Sure.
for sure.
Bucky. I'll sort of whisper to Bucky just so the two don't hear.
Yeah. Well, the first thing about baubles is that
What's the word about this invasion?
I don't know. It's the first I've heard of it.
Why are these two talking like this has been going on for...
This is why we need communication back to Bale. I have no idea how they could have invaded so quickly or found out so quickly.
I just kind of turn to them gently and go, and why can't they see the mist?
What are you guys? Jesus Christ. Who's this? What are you guys whispering about there? You're raising my suspicions a modicum.
They're talking about the bubbles.
You're in the business for baubles?
And pardon, sir, you're not referring to the bloodbath of Bacht.
The what?
The bloodbath of Bacht.
I don't know what that is.
That's what I thought.
What do you mean that's what you thought?
What? Pardon me. I don't mean to be rude, but what year is it?
What year is it?
Good question.
I'm curious.
Looks at you strangely. Steps in front of Valir. Just kind of puts an arm in front of her and says, I think it's best you strangers move on now. If grab a feed and head on out of here. Take the bowls. It's fine.
No, we don't want to steal
We
stuff.
don't mean to bother you. We're not going to harm you. I just want to know.
When someone says they're not going to harm you, that's a red flag in my opinion.
Fair enough.
What do you see when you look at her?
Her?
Yeah.
I see, I don't know, something infernal. She seems kind enough, but what do you mean, what do I see? What do I see in her?
No, that's all I want to know.
Why? I see you. Big turtle man. Little turtle man. Heavy turtle man.
In all this, I'd like to take like a copper piece in my thumb.
Yeah.
And just flick it through them. Or
Flick
at them.
a copper piece at them.
Just like from my side, just flick it.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll for me.
Oh no.
Not good.
Add your, it's just attack roll plus dex modifier. A coin
Real
flick.
not good. 3.
You flick a coin and it kind of lands next to them, and he says, pulls out a bauble out of his pocket, and he says, well, thank you, kind sir. Sits it on the ground.
No, I don't want that.
Just take it, Dice.
No, I'm not taking something I don't deserve.
Yeah.
I think he thinks you're buying...
Sorry, I'm a little bit put off. If you could maybe...
Oh, here, let me look at the bauble, and I'll go to pick up the bauble.
You go to pick up the bauble, and as you do, your hand kind of sweeps through it. The mist kind of swirl in and around it. This bauble doesn't seem corporeal.
And as you sweep your hand through the bauble, he looks down and watches you do it, and he says, what are you?
No.
What?
What are you?
Pushes back a little bit. I am Polance of the Dragonborn Polances.
And what year is it? Lore, man.
What year is it now for you guys? Are you aware?
I don't fucking
Well, there
know.
you go.
Follow-up question.
It's true. I don't know. I assumed I would get that in my lore package, but I did not.
That's fair.
It is
Think of a number.
258, the year of the Golden Star.
Current?
Excellent. That's
current.
And that's what we think.
Not the penis moon?
Not the penis moon. That was a decade ago.
And 258 of the Golden Star. You ask the question. What year is it? And The Dragonborn looking you in some sort of horror. The Furbolg is like packing her stuff and backing away from you guys. He says, the year is 158.
Okay. That's
Agenar,
okay.
This is up to you
That's
now.
okay. That's
This is good news.
all right. I apologize. Obviously, we're just feeling a bit funny with this mist. Maybe we've been poisoned or something. When
just
we
gonna
left,
take
we've
out a
got a bit of travel
small-
sickness, so we'll give you some space.
I'm just going to take out a small bit of food and I'm just going to put it on the ground in front of them just a little bit.
Why? We've got plenty of food here. Please, you're creeping us out. Leave now.
Agenar, are you fully alright now? You're a woman of the cloth and you're going to leave these two poor souls to be wandering this world forever.
No, but sometimes
What
people
did you just
need
say?
information very gently by us. So maybe we should give them some space because they seem a little nervous.
I was taught to give an offering so they can be at peace, but I don't know what you all...
Ah, now it makes sense. Okay, I was wondering what the fuck you were doing, to be fair.
It was just something my uncle always told me to do.
They are packing their gear now.
Friend, I would stop. We're not going to hurt you, but you need to know some things.
Continues packing.
Do you think that it's the smartest decision? They seem pretty happy in there.
Is that how you would want to spend eternity?
I don't know how I'd feel if I just found out I'd been living in a year that it wasn't.
That's why
What?
I tried to leave in Agenar.
What is going on here? They've like mostly packed at this point. If you've got something to say, say it.
You notice that the Furbog is now starting to pull the Dragonborn away.
No.
These questions.
If they want to talk, let them talk.
How long have you been traveling this road?
This road in particular, most of my life selling my wares. Ever since the invasion started, things have picked up. Spent the last week and a half now on the roads. It's not too far to get either way. I can get to the mines if I want to. I can get to Arva. I can get down to Kron or back up to Bale.
You notice that at the bottom of the Dragonborn's feet start to fade away as he says, back to Bale. And then it slowly starts to encroach up. And you hear him say again,
Back to Bale.
his Furbog companion also starts to fade away into the
Agenar
mist.
casts
You hear
undead.
back to Bale.
Huh?
Back
Cast
to
Banish
Bale.
Undead. Now,
I don't... They're going away anyway.
they're going to come back here in a week and a fucking half.
They're
How
gone.
do you know that it's a week
Jesus
and a
fucking
half?
Christ.
And you hear one final
Back to Bale.
You can't just shock spirits into telling them that they're spirits and think that that's going to go well. You've got to go gently.
Is Bias saying you've got something to, in order to deal with these sorts of things? Can you see when these things are not real?
No, I wasn't sure.
I'm not saying that she could see that they were undead, ghosts, whatever you, spirits, mystical beings, whatever you want to call it. But she has things to deal with it.
But if they have some unfinished business or reason for being stuck here, we could also help them. Find out what it is. Unstuck them.
If they're here from before the bloodbath, there's got to be a lot more. I don't know if helping those two would help at all.
Did they turn into mist as they...
They kind of ended up gathering with the same mist and just kind of
being like acclimatized by it, I guess.
or assimilated.
Assimilated, yeah.
A good way to make spirits angry is to scare them and give them information they're not ready for. If they don't know they're spirits, they're not ready to know they're
Are we
spirits.
sure they were spirits and not...
You see dead people?
They could have been
I think we
mist.
all just saw
I
dead
don't
people.
know. They seemed like...
Well, whatever we fought before in the mist didn't talk, and it didn't
No.
have a body, and it didn't think it was
The
alive.
mist creatures never... They were like high definition, those guys. The mist creatures are there's a difference. There's a big difference.
What if the mist
they
is all
3D?
spirits?
They're like 4K, bro.
I don't know. I just think there's
Sorry, Woody.
obviously a lot of trauma that happened here, and I think I'm no expert, but I must have trapped something, some piece of all these people that were here. Either that or something's happened because there's no protection.
All right, you have to tell me.
Oh,
Oh,
You've been
God.
dancing around this for quite some time. The mistress mentioned the defenses were down. The Balemen are no longer being created.
All right, so we went to Lahias.
Whoops.
Wait, you're not
Elias,
supposed
right?
to tell anyone else. Let's get that out of the way first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If we tell you, you cannot tell anyone.
no one, because the mayor made us swear and we fucked up. So
I need a pinky promise from you.
All right, I won't tell anyone, but I cannot promise what my reaction is going to be to what it is you're hiding or involved with.
Bucky extends an enormous glowing pinky.
Pinky promise.
I will promise you I will not tell a soul.
He wraps his pinky around yours, and you feel the glow of his tattoos, and you feel his enormous finger like squeezing yours, and he keeps it there, and he looks you dead in the eye, and he says, "Tell him, I've got him."
we went to Lahias where the purple rain potion is created. And we were there, and there was a lot of magic and a concentration of magic. And our friend Etterath, we discovered that the shaman had someone or something,
Definitely not a god.
but something. It seemed to be a person trapped in a tree, the roots of a tree and it had been feeding off of him for they don't know how long. They said that he fell from the sky, and they found him, and they had him in there, and his blood is what was making the defenses. It's what was making the purple rain. It's what I used to help Bucky get his tattoos. And Etterath freed him, for better or for worse. And Vasily disappeared. So there's no way to make more of the purple rain, as far as we know. But
So,
he was being held against his will.
So it's true then. Bokt is completely defenseless.
Yeah. And I mean, we already thought about it quite a bit.
We
but-
still have many Boktmen and many protectors left. That's
But-
what they're consolidating at the Bulls Academy.
Maybe getting the man at the tree allowed some of the spirits to coalesce properly.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but all I know is that's
Maybe.
very, very bad.
Yeah, and I know I'm worried about the place we both come from finding out about this, which is why I almost had a fucking heart attack when that ghost said that they were fighting.
Happened before, happened again.
Yes, well, it's only a matter of time before they find out.
I know.
But the mist is still here, which means the mist creatures are still here.
Yeah.
And the Severians don't have the man with the purple blood, so
That's why all the bailmen are in bail. If there are no bailmen on the borders, then they can't force any of us to take them into the center. So that'll buy a bit of time.
Well, we should hurry then.
Yeah. And when we get down to Kron, maybe we keep an eye out. I mean, I don't want to be egotistical or anything, but I'm just now realizing that
You stand out.
and I'm pretty valuable. And I glow like a will-o-wisp tree.
None of us have a way to disguise people, do they?
Oh shit, I can disguise myself.
Did you learn that the 4 years at school?
Yeah. I did.
I know.
I can also do this.
I know I can disguise myself, but I can't disguise other people. So, Baki, maybe when we get to Kron,
I
that's something you
disguise
should
myself.
start doing.
Yeah, I can't make myself too much smaller, but I can make myself look like maybe the guy that I just saw. He was roughly my height, the Dragonborn.
I mean, the Dragonborns kind of stand out too.
Not
Yeah.
really in Bokt.
I'll take that back.
Yeah.
Caleb, do me a favor, edit that out.
You betcha. And this too, it's all gone.
Yeah.
Make me look good.
Bucky turns to you and he says,
Well, perhaps we should find somewhere to camp for the night, settle down, and just off the road, and stay safe, get a bit of rest. I have a feeling we're going to have a hectic day and night and another day if these ghosts are around.
Yeah.
good idea.
You look down at where the apparitions had made up camp, and you see that it's disappeared. It's gone. But you do notice that whatever spot they were in, the ground is the same. So the kind of like fire pit shape is still cut out into that piece of land. So you might have an easier time setting up camp here because it has been set up before.
so we're going to make another round of group checks to... How would you assist in setting up camp? There's the setting up of the camp. I don't know if you guys have tents or bedrolls or rations. You guys need to check that. There's someone that can make a check in order to make sure everyone's got the right amount of rations. There's a check to keep watch for things, all that sort of stuff. But I want to make a bunch of groups checks to just see how effective this long rest build-up is.
Azarith will gather a bunch of wood and kind of plop it into the hole and just with prestidigitation light up a fire right away.
Excellent. That's going to give advantage to something. Nice.
I'm going to cast light on my frying pan.
Amazing. It's like Tangled, but better.
It's like me when we went camping and I had like 4 torches on me. And I was like, anyone need light? Anyone need light?
Yeah. And I want to look for like a tree or something that I can, or like something nearby that I can kind of like
hang the light off. Yeah, okay.
Because I got a rope. I want to tie it around the frying pan and then like throw it over a branch so that it's like in the air. A little bit.
I would say at this edge of the path, there are like a lot of trees around near where you're camping. So you do notice very easily just in your like vision perimeter before the mist starts to get too thick, you see a sturdy looking tree, not too big with a few kind of branches hanging out.
Great. I'm going to try and fly up and like
Yeah.
tie
Give
it
us
up.
your roll.
Awesome. That's 25.
Yeah, easy enough. You get up there, throw the rope around, tie your fry pan there. You know how long light's going to last for, so that at least will help you set up for the next hour or so,
Yeah,
I believe.
think us again
Yeah,
a bunch of times.
excellent. I don't know.
Does anybody need some more light? I can just touch things.
Oh, it doesn't go out when you cast it on other things?
That's a good question. Let me think for a moment about.
No problem.
Yes, it does. So
Okay.
I feel like
Oh, I know. I just, these are things we learn at balls.
I feel like the
And you're not going to be getting up all night and turning it on,
overhead
are you?
lighting is
It works for the camp. Yeah, for setting this stuff up.
Safirith, by us, how are you guys helping?
With Etterath gone, I'll take over cooking.
Okay. Can you go ahead and make a survival check for me?
Yeah. Let's see if these dice want to stop being a little bitch. Nope. I should not talk to my dice like that. That's what I learned. 3.
3. Okay. So I need all of you to check your inventories and have a look at how many rations you have without cheating.
I have 1 day of rations.
So it should say next to it, whether you have, I'll check Bucky as well.
No, I think I have 5 of them.
1 day rations.
5 one-day one-day rations.
I have 10 1-day rations. I
Okay.
have 2.
2. Okay. So, Safirith, you gather up people's rations. You have 10? Okay. Unfortunately, Safirith has been a little bit over-eager in cooking. I need you all to mark off 2 rations each, please. Agenar, you may have to talk to someone about getting more rations for tomorrow night. But keep that in mind. So mark off 2 rations each.
Just start scratching.
And I'd also like you guys to check whether you've got bedrolls or tents.
I mean, we know how I sleep. I do, yes.
But do you have a bedroll or a
I
tent?
have a bedroll.
Okay, you may need to share that with someone.
I have a bedroll.
You have a bedroll. Excellent.
I wing tuck normally, and I have a blanket. So I don't know if that counts.
Okay, I'll allow it. Yeah.
I don't have a bedroll.
So you may need to speak to someone about getting a bedroll as we enter into the night portion where in order to get a long rest, you need rations and you need a decent place to sleep. Bias, what would you like to do?
I'm going to look around and try and do Eragon looking for Merry and Pippin in the battle and look at where it might be, because it's been 100 years. I'm looking to see if there's anything
of them
left under the soil that's been grown over.
So with the light and the fire and the delicious fucking meal you just had that took up 2 rations each, can you go ahead and roll a perception check or an investigation check with advantage or a survival check with advantage? Whatever you roll it with advantage and you'll get the relevant information.
Excellent. Let's listen to it. Okay, so 21.
Yeah, you start to like poke around the camp, kind of moving leaves. You start to like use your foot to start kind of scraping away underneath the soil. You're going at this for a few minutes and then you realize that you really want to get in dirty. You start using your claws to like claw off the soil. You've nothing better to be doing. And you do feel something hard just next to where the apparition campfire was. And you start digging, and your claws hit something shiny and red. And you claw a little bit more around the dirt and you pluck it out. And it's the red bauble that you saw the Dragonborn holding when you first approached.
I kind of dig around. Is there, like, if I keep going sort of a little bit wider, do I find any kind of bone or anything?
So you start digging like a little trench around the camp, but you don't find anything else.
Okay. There's not really much I can do with the bubble. Is it really thick, the glass? Or is it like an actual will-o-wisp tree bubble kind of thickness?
It seems to be some kind of gemstone. You haven't seen it before, but it's not like glass. It's very solid.
Okay.
Is that okay? Are you down with the thickness?
I'm down with it.
Wow.
It's weirdly relevant to something I watched today.
Oh, really? People doing karaoke and fucking up the beginning and going, oh, You're like, oh, my God.
Okay, looking at it, is it a shake it? Is it filled liquid it?
No, it's solid, like a stone.
Oh, okay.
Nearly. Fits very nicely in the palm of your hand. It's shiny. It's red. You don't know exactly what it is, but you figure that if you brought it maybe to someone who would have an eye for these kind of things, it might be worth something.
I just shout, no one's got identified object or anything, right?
What's that?
That's a good answer, I guess.
Oh, you mean like useful magic? No.
Yeah.
What have you found?
Well, you know,
How do you guys know the names of all these?
I mean, we're level 5.
What's a level?
That's just what I
Kind of
call
like
it.
a year at
Identify the
school.
thing. You know?
Identify the thing. Oh, yeah. Looky findy out is what I call it.
I grew up in a place where there's all this kind of
Oh, okay, fair. That's very fair. Do I have looky findy out? That's not me. That's Agenar. I don't have looky findy out.
Looky findy out.
No, but you know as a cleric that you can choose your spells at the end of a long rest. So don't forget that.
Then I have a question for the group.
Oh, hang on. Everyone grab some food. Let's sit down and we're going to do secrets again?
No. This is just what you think would probably be the best option. And he climbing out the hole. So I found this. And he holds up.
Oh.
Oh.
Look familiar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it look older than the one we saw?
You kind of take a closer look, and it still has that gleam that it had originally. I mean, there's a little bit of dirt on it, but it hasn't seemed to dull the brightness and intensity of
Doesn't look like
this
it's a
stone.
few hundred years old.
No,
Or 100.
it's shiny, it's bright.
Where did you find that?
I'm going to guess in the massive hole that he just
You
jumped
look
out
around
of.
and there's a crescent moon circle-shaped trench going all around the camp.
Well, that's quite a big hole. So where in
Piles
the
of
hole?
dirt everywhere.
He was making us a moat.
Not to be me, but at the bottom.
Did you make a moat? I've always wanted a moat.
Oh, God.
No, I meant how deep.
How deep is your hole?
I'll go look at the hole.
Well, there wouldn't be an imprint because I kept... how deep?
How deep is the hole?
No, how deep did I find this thing into the ground?
Probably about foot.
A foot.
That would be
About
like
100 years growth.
time or
Oh.
deliberately buried.
I think the way you'd see it is that it's been possibly dropped or left behind, and undergrowth and dirt and stuff is slowly gathered as the roads kind of shifted.
You have noticed as you've been walking, that the roads are constantly shifting. So large amounts of soil is being moved all of the time. So it's not necessarily that it was sitting here and then because a foot of growth in soil would be like a millennia of change, right?
Someone
So-
needs to show you what a foot is.
It's like a foot.
That's a bit right.
That, right?
Foot. 3 of those make a meter. A meter is from the tip of my finger to my shoulder here.
Yeah, but you went a foot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I also have small feet.
Oh, because that's the measure.
Yeah.
A foot's different for everyone. Yeah.
It's your foot.
Yeah.
Standardized.
Caleb's 6'2".
All right, whatever. But so with the roads moving, it wouldn't be too surprising if this was soil from 100 years ago that had been moved around, right?
I just think it's passing of time. 100 years, it's a long time. My question, do we keep it and use it possibly to track them or as a way to prove that we know what they are? Or
maybe that's what they're tied to. Sorry.
We scratch a note in it. Next time they show up, they read it, they find it.
What would we write on the note?
Boo, you're dead, go away. I don't know.
Would destroying the thing not
I'm not the
release-
person to tell them the fucking news. Let's tell us.
But what if they're
No, you're
tied to
not.
that thing? What if that thing is the reason they still come back here? If you destroyed it, would they not?
Okay, well, there's option 3. I got a hammer. I can smash it.
Does this help with getting to the kids before the Safirians get here?
No, but we're not moving for the rest of the night. We can talk about it.
Okay.
I mean, we found it, so I suppose we do have to decide what to do with it.
I mean, I don't know. If it's magical, I could keep it and we could see what happens. But
I don't have Looky Findy out, so I'm not sure what it does.
I got a +1 to my intelligence, and I got +1 in Arcana. Can I see
Yeah.
if it's magical?
Give me a roll.
I don't need to know anything about it. Just want to know
Yeah.
if it's magical.
Well, detect magic technically would be what you need to know if it's magical or not definitively. But you might get vibes.
You can
That was
see
a
how your
13.
roll is. A 13? Yeah, you're looking, it's a very pretty stone. As I said previously, like it's still shining very brightly.
Mhm.
With a 13, you can't tell whether it's magical or not. But it's definitely like an unusual looking bright
Is it
stone.
In good-
It's not
light?
emanating any light,
No.
but it glistens in that way.
It's
that,
very
like,
good
rare
condition.
jewels
Yeah,
might, you
very
know.
good condition.
As you picked it up, the dirt kind of fell away from it very easily. It hadn't dulled in 100 years.
Did they say where they came from? Because they were going back to Bocht. Where do they? Or
They didn't
back to-
say what town they lived in. No, they just said that they traversed the roads, right?
Back to
Yeah.
Or they go back to Bale?
Bale.
Back to Bale. Anything else? We came from Bale, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said they've been to the Ave River, they've been to the mines.
And what were their names?
I believe their names were Polance and Valir, off the top of my head.
Polance and Valley.
You've got a really good memory, Bucky.
Thank you.
But both of them hadn't come from here.
No. One said something about an ocean
Across the
in
Casbald
the
Ocean.
south or something.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
I
other
just believe that there's
was
something
from
more
here.
to this mist. I don't think they're necessarily dead spirits, but maybe the mist is.
Trying to no, maybe.
They mentioned the skirmish between Siberians and the Bactrians, and obviously referring to the bloodbath, but
Well, the lead up to the bloodbath, at least.
Where did the bloodbath happen?
All over Bale.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a whole thing. I thought it was a battle.
All
Sorry.
over Bocht. No,
Everywhere.
it was.
Yeah. It started as skirmishes on the borderlands, as far as I know, and as far as I was taught. And then after a while, it became it was a night. It was one. Was it one night?
Do a lore drop. But
Thank
it
you,
was
yeah. I think from memory it was one night.
The Safirians had started encroaching more and more into Bocht. So there had been like small skirmishes, but pretty much every town and village that they came from, they like completely took over. So then as that kind of went on, the Bochtians started to like form more of a cohesive unit from like whatever they could from the villages and towns. And so there was one specific point further into the mainland of Bocht where they made a stand, and then they just got absolutely destroyed. And blood ran pretty much all through the roads of Bocht because of it. Bucky says.
What? So,
Could have sworn it was that lip reading voice from Agenar.
so at that point, did the mist show up and like scared away the Safirith army, or they just killed everything and then left?
I believe that's when the roads started acting a fool and that the mist showed up. Yeah.
After the bloodbath, the Severian army disappeared.
Maybe they're stuck in the night before the night of the bloodbath,
Or
and
it's
they
showing
just
us memories.
don't remember. So maybe if they appear again, we could ask them how they got
Yeah.
where
yeah.
we pretend we're lost and that we need their help, and that might make them more
I agree.
amenable to us.
I didn't mean to piss him off. I was just getting worried.
Well, I think, yeah, I don't know. I think they got
just think
scared
we're
or
scared,
freaked
though.
out. I'm getting really sleepy, so I need to hit the hay.
Oh,
My head hurts. Oh,
It's
bias,
all
I say
good.
you hold on to that.
thank you.
Finders keepers.
I'll be on watch. You guys sleep.
shall I turn the light off?
Probably, yeah.
No. Or it's okay.
Where are you
I have
gonna
a
sleep?
small-
Thank you for your concern there, Bucky, but I
You can have my bedroll if you want.
don't need the bedroll. I just need a few hours of just sort of calming myself down. And
Well, it's probably more easier to calm yourself if you're sitting on something soft, right?
all right, I'll take the bedroll for only need it for 4 hours.
I mean, I also got one that I don't use.
Then why did you pack one?
Quite frankly, I don't know.
Maybe we can use it for something fun. Maybe we can cut holes in it and like hop in it and pretend we're ghosts as well. Ooh.
Or, you know what we could do? We can give Agenar a sail, so when she flies up, catches the wind, she is gone.
It's actually not a bad idea. Does anyone want to take a level in Artificer or something? I like that idea. Maybe we can create our own parachute instead of needing that feather fall thing. Anyway, lots of ideas. How about we sleep on it, circle back in the morning?
All
You
right.
can have it if you want. Safirith, I'll stay up with you.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys start to make your watch. The rest of you head to bed or into whatever kind of trance-like rest state that you so choose. And as you start to fall asleep and as you guys make your watch, you start to hear a faint whisper of something far, far out in the distance. The clattering of swords, maybe, as if people are fighting in battle. The scream of a man who is taking his last desperate breath. Maybe the gnashing of crows feasting on the bloody entrails of the dead.
What does that sound like, Caleb?
They're nearly too faint to make out. But they're there and they persist throughout the night. And that's where we're going to end our session.
Theater of the Mind Flare.
You're still here? Thanks for listening to Theater of the Mind Flayer. We go live on every podcast app every Tuesday. Follow us on Twitter at mindflayer_pod and on Instagram at Theater of the Mind Flayer with an RE, you filthy Americans. If you like what you heard, leave us a review. Or, whatever. Just do what you want. I'm not your dad.